This violin is going to be about our violin hold, specifically our left hand. So if you can see, my thumb is loose, flexible, relaxed. We've got this mouse hole in here. That's really important. And you can see from the other side, getting some glare, that the wrist is all straight. So I'll just like slowly rotate so you can see that up close. And then from a different front view from over here, I'm going to lower the stand a bit so you can see. We'll just pick it up and move it there. So then you can see what this looks like on the elbow, looking like it. So that's what we're after. Now how do we get there? So we had our V-friend, which our V-friend, we had our elbow straight in line with our shoulder and our nice flat wrist that we were working on. So that's going to be the V-friend. And then basically our V-friend's right in front of our shoulder. The violin goes on our shoulder and then our hand comes up. Notice that the palm is that you're actually seeing the side of the hand, not the palm. We're not like this, but we're turned so our fingers are over the fingerboard. You can kind of see where they're hovering over the fingerboard there. And so that's what we want with a violin hand. The points that I talk about as far as getting there are thinking about the elbow being right under, dropping things. The elbow's right under the bridge, which is also right over the hip bone. So the elbow and the hip bone are lined up. Some people think about being lined up with the foot. So we're here. There you can see about how far it is from the actual scroll and the nut of the violin. So to get there, we're going to put our hand up like we were playing. And so one thing to notice is if you imagine this is the neck of the violin, it's like here's the line where my finger and my hand meet. Where that spot is at, where basically that line where the finger and the hand meet is right there. And then if I put my hand up and just put something through it, so there's the top of the fingerboard, and there's that, the neck. It's going to go through like that. And then the thumb just peeks over, depending how long your thumb is. You can see there's space in there. And so it's just like that. So the thing that I keep talking about with people that sometimes is not being understood is being able to swing. So it's just like a fulcrum. It's just like somebody were sitting in their part at this crook of their arm and swinging. And then when my fingers are straight, I want them looking straight up at the sky. So like if I'm like this, my fingers are not looking straight at the sky. They're looking kind of sideways. So then I talk about putting the pinky and pulling it up. And what this is, there we go. This will show better. And what this is showing is that if I pull the pinky up, it also pulls the hand around the violin. One thing I wasn't talking about as much this week as I usually talk about, all of the hand is on this side of the violin. If you could see the violin side, all the hand's on this side. None of it's underneath the violin. Sometimes people try to put part of their hand, they'll try to put part of under here, underneath the violin. But all that's under the violin neck is the neck, or under the thumb. We don't want to be over here. We don't want this. So thinking about getting the elbow, the nose lines up with the bridge, the elbow's under the bridge, the elbow's right over the hip joint. We'll get a good lining up on it. And then just turning the hand, making sure the hand is not out here, but making sure it's around. And making sure we can be loose and slidey. Practicing slidey is a good thing. So normally what I do when I teach this is I'll have us put, you can see my violin's got a nice little pale spot there. And my palm is right here. We'll mark that part. So when I'm talking about the palm, I'm talking this part down here. So we'll put that palm part right against the violin. I'm actually a little bit high on that. It's a little bit lower than I marked. It's going to be like right in here. And what I look to see is where is that line on my hand? Is that line on my hand right even with the fingerboard? Is my thumb loose? Is there space underneath the neck? And then I look at the hand over here, and is it straight? I don't want bendy. I want it just resting against there. Doing this gives us a good start to the violin. And again, the elbow is right under the bridge. And it gets our hand turned the right way. And then I just slide on back. So that's another way to get our violin position into, is just sliding on back like that. And then we want to just practice holding our hand up there. We can play twinkle. We can listen to a twinkle. We can count to 20. We can walk around the room. And my fingers are, if you can see, the wrist, got some light there. The wrist is straight. And then the fingers are curved over it. And the thumb, if the thumb had eyes on the top of the thumb, they would look at the sky. So if I have eyes on the top of my thumb, they're looking up skyward. And that's it from this view. So that's our violin hold. Hopefully that helps.